Hey guys, this is Semi Rare. This is going to be the start of a series for some efficient routes through various areas in Minish Cap Randomizer. So I'm intending to do this for a couple of the overworld areas that are not very straightforward, most likely the swamp, um, sorry, Mount Krennel, possibly Cloud Tops. Everything else on the overworld is either too item dependent or it's already very linear. So those are the only overworld locations I'm planning on covering. And then I'll go into each of the dungeons as well. So a couple disclaimers before we get started here. This is going to be for the race rules, so that is open fusions, no obscure locations, no rupee mania, and no glitches. Another thing, for the purpose of making this video, I've forced the items that I need into my inventory. So if you see me get, like, let's say I have cape and I get cape, that's why, because I already forced it in my inventory, so just ignore that. These videos are going to be done just in one take, so forgive me if I stutter a little bit or, if I have to process my thoughts for a second. And then, all right, let's just hop into it. So I plan to have an image like this for each of these videos. So this is going to show you what you need to get to the area, and then what you need in addition to that to be able to full clear an area. So for some locations, it's not really worth going there without being able to full clear or mostly full clear, whereas other locations, you can do most of the items with just the basic requirements. So this video is going to be on the swamp. And for the swamp, you're going to need either boots or cape. They're completely identical for the purpose of getting through this area. And then you need at least the red sword with the spin attack, because the only way to get over to Castor Wilds is to make a clone and push the big block out of the way. And then in addition to those items, to be able to do a full clear, you're going to need the bow, you're going to need flippers, and you're going to need mole mitts. Alright, so let's just hop right into the game and I'll show you the path that I take through here. Alright, so when you first come in here, you're just going to use either the boots or the cape to come down here. So boots obviously can do this, cape, you just jump, you'll be fine, you just keep jumping until you get through. You're going to come over here and see an item floating around. So this is the butterfly item. Obviously, if it's something useful, go ahead and grab it, otherwise you can just keep going. Come into the cape here. Into the cave here, up here. If you have boots, you can just do a quick little dash here, and then roll the correct way. I want to go over this Dark Nut real quick. So Dark Nuts are kind of an annoying enemy in this game. You've got a couple solutions to deal with them. For this one in particular, if you have boots, there's a pretty easy strategy. Otherwise, cape makes them pretty easy, or you can just roll past them. So I'll try to show off all three of those. So if you have the boots, all you want to do is come to this bottom wall, wait for him to walk forward a bit, and then hold the boots, and you'll land right behind him like that. So that's actually bad RNG, but if that happens, what you can do, slash twice, and then just set it up again. Okay. There's another possibility here. Let's see if I can get him to do it. Where instead of... Oh, I'm going to lure him to this wall instead. Alright, I missed time. Sorry. I'm not used to doing this on the top wall. Come on. There we go. Alright, excuse the bad gameplay. I'm not used to doing it like that. But if he actually charges into the wall, rather than just slashing, you can pin him against the wall by just kind of doing rhythmic slashes like this. And that'll kill him in one go. Now, if you don't happen to have the boots, your other options, if you have the cape, which you should have one of them to get to the swamp anyway, but you can just kind of jump over him right when he goes to attack like that. Ah, here, against the wall. So if he's against the wall, just kind of rhythmically slash him until he dies. Anyway, grab this item, come out here, boots or roll back over to this area, and come out of the cave. For the swamp, I would say it's okay to come here with just the base requirements. You're not going to miss a ton of items by not having full clear items. So if you see me do something and you don't have the item for it, obviously just ignore it and move on. Pick up the video where you could. Anyway, you're going to come over here, you're going to put on your bow, you're going to shoot this guy, wait for him to open his eye, roll right through him, and boots or cape to get up here. I apparently forgot to put flippers into my inventory, so give me 1 second to do that. You can actually just jump to this cave. Let me grab the flippers real quick. I set the wrong bit, that's why. Not a big deal. There we go. Okay, anyway, so boots or cape up to this cave. Come look at what this item is. If it's something useful, you're going to want to push these blocks like this. Go ahead and grab it. Obviously, if it's something useless, just walk right out of the cave. It's not worth the time to grab that. Once you come out of there, come over here, up into this waterfall. Come learn the technique from this guy. Back out. Come down here. And right across. There's another cave that we want to enter right up here. Go ahead and grab that item. Right, then down here, come down, push this boulder out of your way, and then we're gonna, oh, sorry. If you have mole mitts, come down here. Dig into this cave. One thing to be careful about with this cave, there's a like, so if you have a shield and it's not mirror shield yet, be very careful. Try to avoid that like at all costs, because he can make you lose your shield and then you'll have to go back to the shop to buy a replacement. Oh, and right there I got a cape, which I already have, so that's just what I mentioned earlier, how I would have forced the items into my inventory so you might see duplicates. Alright, after that cave, you're going to come over here to the Minish portal, go ahead and shrink. Unfortunately, you cannot get on this lily pad in time, so we're stuck waiting for a little bit while we wait for it to cycle back. And hop on it, take it over to this Minish hole, and we're going to grab the chest inside. And then, unfortunately, we have to wait again for the lily pad. Through the log here. Now this section, if you don't have Gust Jar, you can actually just swim through the water here, and it's a little faster, so if you have Gust Jar and flippers, just go ahead and swim. Alright, come down this hole. For this fight, if you have great spin attack, you can try to charge up a spin. It's a little hard because the guys will run at you, and a lot of the times they'll break your spin like you're seeing right here. I might die because of that. Alright. Alright. If you don't have great spin attack, just kind of do the fight like you normally would, where you try and slash them as fast as you can. Come out of here, into this hole, grab this chest. Back down through here, once again, just swim right through, or Gust Jar if you don't have flippers. Be quick so you can get to this lily pad before it moves. Go down this Minish hole, grab this chest, back up. This rope will troll you a lot, so he can block that and you just can't do anything but just wait for him to move. If you don't have flippers, be careful. You can drown in these puddles, which is a real annoyance if you have to come here without flippers. Come all the way down here to this lily pad. Take it for a ride and climb up the vine. Oh, nice. Or you could walk off a quarter second too early and have to wait for another cycle. Okay. Alright. Up here, grab this chest. When you come back out of this hole, just tap left very slightly, because if you tap too much, you're going to walk into the vine and it's going to be a real pain in the ass. So tap left, jump off the edge there, and take this lily pad back across. Then up here, you do need the flippers right here. You cannot get to this hole right here unless you have flippers. I know it looks like there's some land that you could just kind of squeeze past, but it's not possible. Once you come through there, come over this way. Also to note is that swimming as a Minish is faster than walking as a Minish, so you do kind of want to land in those Minish holes, in those puddles of water if you have the flickers. Anyway, once you come in here, go to the left, grab this chest, back down, down, over to this fourth one, here, over, up. Try to ignore these scissor beetles. They can be a real pain in the ass, but do your best to just ignore them and push these blocks. I'm probably gonna fucking die here. I know I said to ignore them, but I don't want to die in this video. And obviously, if you're in danger of dying, then just go ahead and kill them. Oh, nice. Anyway, so you're gonna push those 2 blocks. Don't do this. I'm just doing this for safety. You can ignore these enemies as well. Nice, I died. But usually, you would just see what's in that cave. If you don't need it, then go ahead and continue on. The next thing we're gonna do is quick warp. So just pretend I quick warped out of there instead of dying. We're gonna, once again, boost your cape down this way, come up the vine, go to the bottom area this time, get out your bow, shoot this guy in the eye. When he opens his eye, you can roll through him, roll over a couple times, grab this chest, grab this chest, ignore these 2 rubies that appear, those are lights, and then come down here. One thing I didn't mention that you need to full clear here is you need 7 tiger scrolls. Most of the time when you come to the swamp, you're not going to have that, so don't worry too much about it. But anyway, come into this guy's dojo, check what this item is, grab it if it's useful. If you have the 7 tiger scrolls, go ahead and talk to him. Come back out. Once again, boots or cape down to over here. Push this boulder up. Come this way. Cape or flippers to get across the water here. Right into this cave. Open this guy up. Back out. Slash this. And then I like to claim this windstone in case I have Ocarina or for when I find it. If you have the 3 gold kinstones, go ahead and do the fusions with these guys, continue on to Wind Ruins. I'm not going to cover Wind Ruins because they're extremely linear and there's not really, there's not a whole lot of options you can do. There's not a whole lot I can teach anyone there. So that's going to be everything in the swamp for now. Sorry for the little hiccups, but like I said, these are going to be just single takes, so stuff like that's bound to happen. I hope this helped you guys figure out the easier ways to route through here, because I know this area can be a little confusing. So next up, I'm probably going to tackle either Mount Frenel or Fortress of Winds. Hopefully should have a video like this coming out every couple days. They don't take a whole lot of time, but I also don't have a whole lot of time to make them. So let me know any feedback that you guys have, and I hope this helped you. See ya.